I didn't want to make this video, and I have been procrastinating on making this video. I don't know if procrastination is the right word. Trying to figure out the balance between people's privacy, keeping my mom and my dad's personal struggles private, not making that part of our usual content. When I started the quest for details, I made a choice to make positive content. I could have made mixed, but as I saw it, there was positive and negative content to make. Me being in a very negative place at that time, I decided that I wanted to, it takes effort, a lot of effort to produce anything, to create anything, right? And the more passionate you feel about something, the more the effort flows. It's an easier type of effort. So you need to be passionate and you need to be involved in it. And I did not feel like I could even sustain making negative content because you have to take that within yourself and all that. So I don't want to get too off topic here. So I make positive content. So what's happened though is that we have become friends. You're my extended family and friends that I've never personally met half the time, but that are friends now. Some of you have your own channels or have told me enough about yourselves, or have gathered enough about your vibe in the comments. And this is 8 years now, so some of you are such old friends that when you show up in the comments, you know, it's really good to see you. It's been a while. So I have to tell you stuff here and there, and that's part of the balance. That's where I started, is that unfortunately every once in a while there's going to be bummer news and there's going to be not good news and all of that. So for me to just skip it wouldn't be right, and for me to dwell upon it and make you guys think about it, when my whole goal in a week sometimes has been to take all the negative that I've seen and all the negative that I've felt and all the negative that I know that all you must be dealing with in your lives, and like try and transmutate that into something good. So it's been hard to try and decide, because this isn't a vlog video journal, but it ends up being a video journal. If you do something for 8 years, if you involve all of your family in it, if it's something that you and your family have done for ages before, and it basically makes up your part of the identity of what your family is about, and then you share that, then inevitably you have to share some of the painful and hard details too. So, but those things get lost. Even this video, you know, my average video these days can get around 1,000 views. Some of these videos only get 400 or 500 views, so that's the amount of you that will actually know what's going on in my life, and that's fine. But there's other people that will accidentally be left out of the loop, because I'm not going to get into every video and list off everything bad that's going on behind the scenes or everything good. And so since before the Quest for Details started as a show on YouTube, my dad has been fighting small cell lung cancer. He actually had an entire lobe of his lungs removed, and then went into remission. That's where you don't have cancer in your body after that for a large chunk of time. We had a decade. The kids were all born. I have a sibling, a sister. Her kids were born, my kids were born. Those are really great days. And then around the time that I started this show, he was diagnosed again with small cell lung cancer. It was actually right before that, but he had you actually have a bunch of lobes of your lungs. You have more than two. You actually have 5, I think, and he had a whole other portion of one taken out. And that's basically before all of you met him on this show. So he has those issues going on. I can't sit here, I don't want to sit here and list all of the ailments that both of my parents have. My mom struggles with her stuff. Behind the scenes, she's taking cortisone shots to be able to walk, literally half the time. So when you see us metal detecting, she's able to walk that week and stuff. And I'm sure a lot of you understand all this, have all this going on. You write me personal letters, messages, and I know a lot of you have really heavy, grim stuff going on in your lives as well. That's part of being mortal and part of this human condition. So that's what my dad's been dealing with. Like I say, we focus on the good stuff, but it's something that I've worried about, because you know that there's times coming up when there's going to mortality. Mortality is going to come for everyone in all sorts of forms and stages. So my dad's 73, and he has vein issues. Just to keep this simpler, in his legs is where it's been mostly affecting him. So to bring this all back, 7 months ago he got stabbed through his shoe one day at the farm with a plum thorn, and that led to an infection. And you have to forgive me here, because I've tried to make this video a bunch of times, and I can get very angry, and that's why I've scrubbed 2 of these. He got stabbed by a plum thorn. That led to an infection in his foot. The infection ended up spreading. Wasn't completely diagnosed for what it was going on, being a large bacterial infection at the time. The fact that he had, I believe it's called PAD, forgive me if that's not correct, it's shrinking of the veins and arteries in your legs and hardening, and so he lost major circulation in his legs for a while. It's been harder and harder for him to get around and be mobile. This injury in his foot, combined with the infection, got to a point where he literally had dying off areas on his feet and building of fluids and stuff. So he had to go in and do a major 8-hour surgery. Each of these events is a month and a half apart. This has been 7 or 8 months now. Him not being able to get around much, and then him not being able to get out of the house, and then the hospital beds being brought in, and then him not being able to walk without a walker, and all of this going on, and me not knowing exactly when to bring in anybody, if to bring in anybody, because my dad is an old Viking warrior, and the stuff that he goes through and recovers, even behind the scenes, since the show has started, it is mind-blowing. The man has 36-inch steel plates in his body. Too many stories to share here. But he goes through massive stuff. There's 4 seasons in, we had stents put in and heart issues and heart attacks and all of that. And I decided to not share it. And by the time it was over, we did the next 4 years that you've been with us. And it didn't feel that bad to leave those things out. It was what I was going through behind the scenes. I've been going through a lot behind the scenes. I've been through a divorce, a separation. I'm living here alone in my house now for the last 2 years and all kinds of stuff. So I try and keep it really positive and light. Like I say, I apologize if I'm bringing anybody down. One of my biggest concerns here about doing this would be my dad not being able to do it for himself, and that being his own private thing, and making any of you have a heavier, sadder day than you're already having on earth, because our days are limited, and I want you to have good days. It feels good to be able to tell you, so I appreciate that. So, this is grandpa of everybody in my clan. So I believe in prayer, and I believe in hope, and I believe in manifesting things. I believe in intention and science itself proving that will over matter exists, and is actually, I think, even been proven faster than light itself, thought influencing matter as we try and witness it. So I've been wanting to just assume that my dad is going to pull off another Bill Major miracle, because that's what the guy does. He's gone to 1,000 battles and come back and not always entirely whole, and ends up healing up and then is incredible. So that's what we've been hoping for. That's what we're still hoping for. The reason why I'm making this video now is because the infections became 4 bacterial infections. They became antibiotic resistant infections. They are all bad. That's what he's been fighting. They put him on everything. We have tried everything. We continue to try everything. We have, a strong circle of doctors with all of the antibiotics that you can take, and my mom and sister trying to advocate the best that they can. So on the 6th of this month, he reached a point a few days ago where he could no longer stay at home. He's been through crazy surgeries and crazy injuries, like I said, and the amount of pain that the guy can take as a cancer patient, he's already somebody who's accustomed to long nights, sleepless nights, nausea, everything that comes with it, and it comes with the drugs, and it comes with the blood pressure drugs that you have to take after heart attacks, and all of those things that many of you are dealing with out there. We had to get an ambulance ride to the hospital because that was the best for him. It got to where he could no longer walk, or even with a walker, and maybe I should be keeping this way more simple. So he had to go to the hospital finally. He had been staying at home, taking antibiotics and trying to fight it that way. But we were already becoming aware that his right leg was basically a lost battle. So he went in on a few days I believe on the 7th. And on the 8th, they amputated his right leg above the knee. And that night, because he was in a hospital and he was finally on IV drugs and medicine and everything and nerve blockers, he got his first sleep in 30 days or something. And so that's good. And a day later, yesterday, I'm making this on the 11th, and I'm going to try and get it edited tonight. A lot of editing to do on this because I haven't made a clean cut out of it. I hope I don't scrap the whole thing again. They decided to do an angioplasm again, so maybe I'm leaving that out. He's on the right leg over the months. He went in for a surgery, an 8-hour surgery, where they took veins and arteries from one part of his body, and an exhaustive surgery. An 8-hour surgery is insane for the surgeon. It's insane for the patient. It's about as far as you can push a human body, in case you don't know that. And transplanted veins and stuff, and that failed. That was part of the failure. The bacteria went to those wounds, and that's part of how the right leg got so bad. They did an angioplasm on it again in the end on the new veins that had been transplanted. That didn't work. That leg has been amputated. A day after the amputation, they did an angioplasm on the left leg, and the human being that my dad is just trying to ride through it, but that's massive pain. My dad has beat the statistics several times with things like small cell lung cancer and stuff so far. So his will to live is very strong, and he loves this life, and he loves every day of this life, and he treats it like a treasure, and doesn't take it for granted. And so the hope now is, and what you can pray for, and what you can focus on, and what you can do is to send thoughts and magic and intention. We have a good pulse in his left leg. An angioplasm is where they open the veins up, and they put stents in, plastic straws, so it holds it open, and so they have a good pulse. And the left leg is in horrible condition. His body has 4 antibiotic-resistant strains of bacteria in it, as well as him trying to deal with a fresh amputation. I have one sibling. She lives in the same location, the same town as my dad, and I live an hour from that. My mom and him still live together. I work in that town about half the time, so I commute down there weekly anyways. I have my daughter Olive now that moved with my ex across the state, and I never wanted to miss a day of her life. I am traveling there, and then here to my house to do the jobs around here and take care of my house and do this part of life. That's generally where I do my editing, where I've been trying to run the Quest for Detail shop out of and all that kind of stuff. And then travel down to where my parents live and work my jobs there. I do labor. I'm just a landscaper behind all this. Might as well just be plain and open about that. Some YouTubers make a lot of money. You get paid for every 1,000 views that you get on a video that has commercials. That's how I make money. That's how I get paid by YouTube. And so if a video does not even make 1,000 views, you don't make $1 off of it. When it makes 1,000 views, I can average right around $6, I believe, is what I'm getting currently for. Don't quote me on that, I haven't looked. I apologize to YouTube if it's more than that. It's under $10 for every 1,000 views that you get. It's nice to get anything, but it's definitely not my day job. I have been a dad of 3 this whole time. I have a house in California that I've been paying off, and all of the insurance and bills that come with a regular life like that, and vehicles. And I do that by doing manual labor. My body itself is pretty shot, so sometimes when people say it must be nice being healthy, I've done all of these 8 seasons with a hernia and with other health issues going on myself. And since we're being honest about everything here, and my parents are just working class. They live in Napa, California, because my grandpa lived in Napa before they ever planted grapes there, and before California became anything that it was as far as huge, expensive real estate. We were just a little town that grew walnuts and peaches and stuff, in the muddy north end of a bay. And so we're just working class. The point of telling you all that is that's all the resources that we have. My sister and my mom. My sister, while she's not raising her 2 girls who are in school. And so my sister and my mom and brother-in-law are taking turns going down to the hospital, trying to be with him nonstop because he needs somebody with him, and trying to include all the things I want to tell you in this video. The reason why I'm telling you about my personal life and throwing that in here is because I wanted to apologize for not being able to respond for everywhere where I've been lacking, for the lack of quality maybe in editing, and being able to respond to you. I've always tried to respond to a lot of the comments. Weighs on me when I can't. Don't want to think that they're falling into some black hole where I don't see them or anything. My shop, I have been lagging on people's orders. So for now, I've had to let it expire. I'm also, all of us, I'm sure everybody out there has gone through this type of thing. So when you have times of trouble, it starts affecting your ability to work and blah, blah, blah. That affects your money. I have to shut down the shop right now. It wasn't a profitable venture. It was like any other small business where you hope that it might become profitable, so you try and keep it open even when it's running in the red a little bit. So for everybody who's ordered from it, I appreciate it, and I'm not taking them the links from the 1,000 videos because I don't have the time to do that, and because I'm hoping to keep it there and maybe fire it back up at some point here when everything starts going better. The idea is that we're all hoping and praying that his body rallies back, that the medicine kicks in and fights the bacteria, and that his latest surgery, the amputation, heals well, and that we're able to save the left leg. Whereas when he went in the first day, it was going to be a double amputation, and so we're hoping that he can save that left leg. Me and my sister and my brother-in-law are running around building ramps. You need to build wheelchair access, so we're changing doors in the house, trying to get the bathroom modified, trying to do these things. That's what I'm doing. That's what my brother-in-law is doing when he's not working his jobs. Everybody's very stretched out. And like I say, my world was already kind of split. That's what I've been dealing with behind the scenes, is coming out of a 20-year marriage. Didn't officially get married, but I considered it a marriage. And having that fall apart and separation, and then basically divorce, and then living in two separate places, and then having to figure out how to live where I live and work where I work and be able to see my kid and all that. And I apologize for the times that I'm not there. I know none of you would ask me for an apology right now, but that's just what I wanted to say. You can hope and pray for me, for his left leg to heal and his right leg to heal and his body to kick off this infection, and for us to get some more years here all together. My dad absolutely does not want any of you to stress or worry. That would be that privacy issue that I was originally talking about. He's very stoic and would want you to hear something right now that was stoic. I don't have that for you right now. I just wanted to finish this video. I wanted to get it out to you. I didn't want to bring you down. You don't need to hold it with you, except if you want to pray or send good wishes or just hold a good memory or whatever you want to do. But you don't have to let it sit with you, and it doesn't need to be weight on your soul at all. Just wanted to tell you because I feel like I should, so we can all be on the same page, so that I've done this part of the work of communicating reality, and we can all know now what's going on. I can say, let me try and finish with this about what to say. Like, if you feel like there isn't much to say, maybe there is if you have stories to relate, if you have similar situations, if you have advice that you feel like you definitely want to say, feel free to put that in the comments below. But you don't have to have any advice. The point of this video was to let you know what was going on with my dad, and what was going on with the channel, and what was going on, of course, with my mom, and with the quest for details, and what was going on with me. So you've already done that by being there, by watching this. If you're still watching this, I don't know how far we're going to be into this after I've edited the video, but pretty darn far. So I appreciate you being there. Right now you're a camera clamped to an upside down stool, but I could stop and picture 1,000 names. And I appreciate you being there. But let me say this about what there is to say about things. And as far as mortality and issues of mortality that I've had to go through, and I've had to watch other people that I care about greatly go through, and sometimes there isn't a lot to say, so listening is the best thing that you can do. The simple way to say it, of course, is what I've said. I don't want to bring you down. I don't want to make you feel sad, but your human empathy is going to make you instinctively try and come up with remedy or solution, and that's weight that you're putting on yourself. And you don't have to have solutions to these things in life. I just appreciate you being there and me being able to tell you, and I've taken to just telling people that, to say I don't have any words, and half the time they'll thank me for that, It's hopes and prayers and up to the strength of the man himself right now to fight his fight that he's fighting. I'm tired. I need to edit this video. I need to get it out to you. And I have recorded a couple of adventures, and I have a couple of obligations to some companies that sent me products, so I need to finish those videos. So there are some more Quest for Details videos coming out. I'm not going to be updating during those videos about this, and I will do an update at the next proper point after this. Our season is almost a year long. For the last 3 years, it has run almost 12 months and 10 days or something. This season, we're probably going to wrap it up. Normally on schedule, it would be like somewhere halfway through December, and then starting on our January 27th mark every year. And there will be at least 4 or 5 more videos that I know about. Hopefully a few more this year for sure. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate if you're still here. I really don't know how to end this. I didn't know how to start it. So I'm just going to end up saying goodnight. But yeah, just please take care of yourselves. And then when I say take care of each other, the people that you love and the people that you care about. But then also, when it comes down to those moments in life where stuff is really bad, you realize that we waste a lot of our time on very petty, stupid things. We spend a lot of time fighting with each other and arguing with each other over things that may have been better suited sorting out together. It's easier to take care of the people that you love and like and that you agree with. But if you can, and you would, just everybody, take care of each other regardless. We'll see you on the next Quest for Details, and it'll be a good one, and it'll be a fun one. We'll be doing something, and we're looking at something, and it'll be a happy something. And I love you, and good night.